The city never slept. Even at midnight, the streets echoed with fear. Neon lights flickered through the rain while police sirens screamed in the distance. In the darkest corner of the city stood a name everyone feared: the Royal Mafia. No one knew how powerful they truly were. Some called them criminals. Some called them kings. But one thing was certain: nobody betrayed them twice. At the center of the empire sat one man: Victor DeLuca. Cold eyes, black suit, silent voice. A mafia boss so dangerous that even politicians lowered their heads. When he entered a room, Victor wasn't born rich. Years ago, he was just a poor boy surviving on broken streets. His father died in gang violence, and his mother disappeared without a trace. The city showed him no mercy. So he learned one rule: if the world is cruel, become crueler. By the age of 25, Victor controlled illegal businesses, underground casinos, weapon deals, and half the city's ports. Fear became his language. One stormy night, Victor sat inside his massive mansion overlooking the city skyline. Thunder shook the windows while guards stood outside carrying rifles. Suddenly, a man rushed into the room. "Boss, we have a problem." Victor slowly looked up from his glass of whiskey. "What is it?" "The Black Vipers attacked one of our warehouses." The room went silent. The Black Vipers were a rival gang known for brutality. For years they stayed hidden. But tonight, they declared war. Victor stood up calmly. "How many men did we lose?" 7. Victor's eyes darkened. "Prepare the cars." Within minutes, black SUVs raced through the city streets. Rain slammed against the windows as armed mafia soldiers loaded guns in silence. Nobody spoke, because everyone knew what happened when Victor became angry. The convoy stopped near an abandoned dockyard. Smoke filled the air. Burning crates lit the darkness. Bodies lay on the ground while distant footsteps echoed through the warehouse. Victor entered slowly. Then, a voice laughed from the shadows. Well, the king finally arrived. It was Rico Morales, leader of the Black Vipers. Scar across his face. Golden chains around his neck. Madness in his eyes. Victor stared at him coldly. "You made a mistake tonight." Rico smirked. "No, Victor. I ended your empire tonight." Suddenly gunshots exploded everywhere. Bang! 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 Bullets ripped through metal walls as both gangs opened fire. Mafia soldiers dropped behind crates while sparks flew through the warehouse. Chaos erupted. Victor grabbed a pistol and moved through the smoke with deadly precision. One enemy rushed toward him. Bang! Down instantly. Another appeared behind him. Crack! Victor smashed a metal rod into the attacker's face. The dockyard became a battlefield. Fire spread rapidly across the building while police sirens approached from far away. Rico escaped toward the rooftop. Victor followed. Rain poured heavily as both men faced each other on top of the burning warehouse. City lights glowed behind them. Victor pointed his gun. "You really think fear makes you powerful?" "No. Survival does." Rico suddenly pulled a knife and charged forward. The two fought brutally in the rain. Punches. Blood. Rage. Victor hit the ground hard while Rico raised the knife. But Victor grabbed Rico's arm and fired a single shot. Silence. Bang. Rico collapsed slowly onto the rooftop. Rain washed the blood across the concrete. Victor stood breathing heavily while flames rose beneath the building. Then his phone rang. He answered quietly. "Yes." A nervous voice spoke. "Boss, the police are coming. You need to leave now." Victor looked one last time at the burning city. This war isn't over. He disappeared into the darkness before police arrived. The next morning, news channels exploded with headlines. Massive gang war rocks the city. Royal Mafia linked to deadly attack. But nobody dared say Victor's name publicly, because fear still ruled the streets. Days later, Victor held a secret meeting inside an underground bunker. Around the table sat his most loyal men. Maps covered the walls. Weapons lined the tables. Victor spoke calmly. The Black Vipers were only the beginning. The men exchanged nervous looks. "There's another organization coming," Victor continued. "Bigger, smarter, more dangerous. One guard whispered, "Who are they?" Victor placed a photograph on the table. The room froze. It showed a masked man standing beside dozens of armed soldiers. At the bottom of the photo were 2 words, Shadow Syndicate. "They're coming for this city," Victor said quietly. "And if we lose..." He looked at every man in the room. Everything burns. Thunder echoed outside. Nobody moved. Because deep down, they knew the real war had just begun, to be continued.